Hello everyone and welcome back to another video for Destiny 2 Season of the Dawn. Today we'll be going over the weekly reset for March 3rd. Yes, this is uploaded on the 4th, my apologies. Season of the Dawn's weekly reset. Of course, this is also the last week of Season of the Dawn, so if there's anything that you need to do, whether it be any triumphs on screen that I'm showing now, or anything else that you need to do to complete the Savior Seal for the season, make sure you go and do that, just because once this is gone, you won't be able to do anything after that. So be aware that once the new season starts, this is gone. All this stuff will be irrelevant, and we'll be done with that. Now we're going to get into it. Of course, what we like to do is we like to go over every single thing of the weekly reset in D2. But before we do that, we're going to go for the Tower Obelisk and then the store, and then we're going to dive right in, because I like to check the bounties, of course. So, the following bounties are available for this week. We have the Finger on the Pulse, so defeat enemies using pulse rifles. Defeat bosses and strikes. Clear lost sectors anywhere in the system. Defeat Hive with precision damage. Hero's Journey, complete a heroic adventure and defeat enemies anywhere in the system. Using a sword, rapidly defeat enemies in groups of 2 or more. Rapidly defeat enemies in groups of 2 or more using a precision final blow. And then defeat enemies in strikes. So, of course, you know, all these will go toe-in-toe with each other. Make sure you go ahead and do these bounties if you still want to do them. Of course, the Imperium Foundation is done, and now we have Trials of Osiris unlocked for next week. Well, March 13th. So, essentially next Friday, which I can't believe it's already March. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over the Eververse store. Since we're already in the tower, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and talk to her.
Maybe a new look?
Just for shits and giggles, just because... good old D1 type deal. And we actually got something interesting. Nice. Great for the video. So, this week we have the, obviously, Season of Dawn ends soon. So, it will show us all the featured stuff in Season of Dawn that we can still acquire. Now, I'm not sure if anything from these engrams will end up going towards future engrams, so for next season, but we shall see. But this week for the weekly offerings, we have the Galloping Knight emote. So obviously, you know, Monty Python's Holy Grail. Never seen that movie, but I know where that's from. The Devil's Advocate weapon ornament for the Devil's Ruin, which is the exotic this season. Kind of cool. The Ash Angel exotic Sparrow. Obviously, Fawn Engrams. The Colossal Helmet projection. And then Saint's Invocation for this week of the featured offerings. And then down below we have, you know, a few things here, which we're going to go to the Bright Dust tab or category and see what there is this week.
Don't get too
We have the Keep It Clean emote, which is just picking up trash. We then have the Tachyon 4 exotic ship. Ugly. The Viper 4S exotic Sparrow. The Doubt for the Trust hand cannon, so it's a weapon ornament.
No word from Fenchurch.
The Bloodline Memorial for the Bastion.
Something interesting.
Which I can't believe that's actually free, essentially, for Bright Dust. And then we have the Virulent Vest for the Hunter. And then the 14 projection. I had to calculate that for a minute. 14 projection. And of course, we have the Transmat Effect, Box of Tricks, and Vex Gate Arrival, Welded Brass, and Byzantium Lotus. And then, of course, we have our consumables. In the featured tab, I just wanted to show you guys down below here, because there will always be some featured Bright Dust items down here. We have the Shake It Out emote. The Tip of the Spear. I've shown the Sparrow numerous amount of times. It's not even that good. We then have the Itsy Bitsy Spider for the Recluse. They're really bad that I can't see a single different thing with it.
We drove the Red Legion out.
I'm still going to pick it up, though.
Same to whomever comes next.
We have the Grayscale Undergrowth shader, which is, let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow. This is the first time you guys ever seen me bought anything on this. That's funny. So, now we're going to dive right into the weekly reset, the meat and potatoes of what you guys want to do this week. Of course, if you're familiar with this, what I usually do is I like to go over the bounties that they have, but the bounties are relatively the same, and they only award Bright Dust, not powerful gear. So, of course, you need to do 8 bounties from the Vanguard, Crucible, Weaponsmith, and Gambit. And then you need to complete clan bounties, or just do clan, you know, just basically do anything in the game, essentially. So play Gambit, play Crucible matches, play whatever you want to get those done. Now we're going to go to the director. What is new on the map? Of course, so Vanguard strikes this week. The following burns are applied. It is Void, Blackout, and Grenadier. And then for the ordeal this week, it is the Arms Dealer. So if you want the Tilt Fuse Exotic Sparrow, make sure you go and do this. That is the strike-specific drop that you get from killing Brakazan at the end of the strike. Finally, for the Nightfalls this week, we have some really good ones. We have the Strange Terrain, which is Nokris, which will reward the Braytech Osprey rocket launcher. Savathun's Song, which will reward the duty-bound auto rifle. And then Warden of Nothing, that does the Warden's Law hand cannon, which is actually a really good hand cannon, if I'm being honest. So if you guys want to go ahead and do it, I recommend going and, well, doing it. I mean, why not, right? So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to locate the flashpoint. It is on the Tangled Shore this week, so make sure you go and talk to Spider to be able to, do whatever you need to do to complete the flashpoint. And then the Rider is the heroic adventure for today. So if you have that bounty that you want to do in the tower, make sure you go do that, just cuz. Of course, it is still Inotom, the Scion Flare this week, so, you need to go kill him. And the Singe is Void, so watch out. Sundial will leave again next week because, obviously we're done this season. So make sure you go do this if you haven't already. I'm sure plenty of you have, but I just like to reiterate myself just in case. So we have Empath, so Enhanced Radar, increased melee damage, equipment is locked, match game, Champion's Barrier and Unstoppable, Inotom's Clepsydra, so solo damage is increased, environmental damage is also increased. And then if your fire team dies in a restricted zone, everyone is then returned to orbit. So make sure you go do that. I haven't done the Sundial since Inotom dropped and I did all the tramps for it, so it's kind of useless, but we're fine. On the moon this week, of course, it is the Nightmare of Jazz, so Jax, yeah. So he is located in the Hellmouth, so you have to do quest or that specific triumph. Locate our friend in the Hellmouth. He is located right there on like the edge of the cliff of the Hellmouth where my cursor is, so make sure you go kill him for a triumph. For today, we have In the Deep campaign mission, so go grab the cryptoglyph. You guys have done this times before, so I'm sure you know and are familiar with what that is. We then have Crota, Son of Oryx. We then have Fogoth, and then we have Dominus Gaul for this week's Nightmare Hunts. So if you want to go ahead and do that, and of course the Pit of Heresy, which will reward Pinnacle Gear, and then defeat Nightmares and complete weekly bounties on Luna. So go ahead and do that, and make sure you get your gear, of course. For the Dreaming City is at full strength, the Curse, and the Ascendant Realm or Ascendant Challenge in Ephidian's Rest. So make sure you go and grab that. If you still like to go do the, Dreaming City, I haven't really gone there since Shadowkeep dropped, if I'm being honest, but to each his own. On Mars this week, the Escalation Protocol is Nuraboth, the Crest of Zol, which will drop the Ikelos shotgun only. So if you want to go grab the Ikelos shotgun, make sure you go and do that. Next for Gambit, of course, it is the swords this week. So the Alakul guys that, we've killed over and over. I'm amazed that Alakul isn't back at this point because we've killed like his brothers 10 times over. So this week they'll drop the Soul Survivor, which is a sniper rifle, the Lonesome, which is a sidearm, the Night Watch, which is a scout, the Shotgun of Last Man Standing, which I played 3,000 Gambit matches to freaking try and get during Season of the Drifter. That's an exaggeration. I played about 800. I want to kill myself. Joking. That's bad joke. Then we have the Just In Case sword as well. So if you want to get any of those weapons, go and hit up the Reckoning. For the Menagerie this week, we have Hesapiko, the Vex Minotaur. So if you want to kill the Minotaur, make sure you go and kill him. He's not that hard to kill, if I'm being honest, but, to each his own. For the Garden of Salvation this week, now we're going to jump into the weekly raid challenges, of course. For the Garden of Salvation, we have the following to the chain. All players must tether to the box at the same time, regardless of where they are. So make sure you just don't depart from your friends. For Scourge of the Past located on Earth, we have Hold the Line, which is Botsa downtown. Do not let the map generator drop below half. Again, I've never done these challenges, so I don't really know if that's good or not. On Nessus, of course, if you guys still do the Leviathan, there's multiple raids and prestige challenges for these ones. For the Crown of Sorrows this week, it is Limited Blessings Hive Ritual. There must not be more than 2 players with the Witch's Blessing buff at the same time. And then for the Leviathan, which is the, first raid in D2. Challenge is the throne. Activate all plates at the same time before damaging Callus on all phases. So essentially just go on every plate. Why does that sound really easy if I'm being honest? Oh well. For the prestige layers this week, so that would be the Leviathan Eater of Worlds and the Leviathan Spire of Stars. It is modifier Gladiator, so melee kills buff, weapon kills buff melee damage. And the challenge this week is kinetic is shotgun, energy is auto, and power is rocket launcher. Now that we've covered the raids, of course, that is essentially it. I mean, we've covered all the things in D2. There is the weekly reset, guys. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification box. I'm going to be posting again daily Destiny content for the remainder of Season of the Dawn, Season of the Worthy, and everything else in between. Comment down below if this helped you in any way, shape, or form, and if you're excited for the new season. But as always, guys, have a great day, and
You know I'm like a ghost to see